Okay, we're in the Spelljammer section. So extended reading would include the Spelljamming box set, and I have something of a bad relationship with Spelljammer. The whole Spelljamming aspect to D&D is full of probably the coolest things, and yet it is boiled down to such a degree that you just get the grains of the cool stuff. But maybe for the Vecna campaign, there's little bits that are useful, such as a map of the Space Galleon. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Look, Spelljamming is space D&D. The astral plane itself consists of bubbles of galaxies. The astral sea is the mind space in between. Now you can fly through in ships, and gravity either pulls you up or down to the central line here. And it's filled with cool beasts, just like the depths of the sea, the real sea. And on the DM screen to this, you get all these encounters, like void scavers, solar dragons. It sounds so exciting, you know, pirates, beholder ships. But even in the Vecna book, it's a cool setting, and what do? Not only do they plonk us on a ship, fine, but that ship is broken, motionless, lying on a cool thing, a dead god. Let's look at how it is and then discuss how you might improve it. So air bubbles instantly form in the astral sea around your head, around your ships. You can breathe. Gravity doesn't exist, just like in space, to a strong degree until there's a massive body or you're close to something. You start to be pulled towards the closest gravity source, I suppose. Without propulsion, you think and you glide towards that destination. I want to go that way, then I shall. Until you reach a gravity plane, and then you are forced to walk either on top or upside down of the gravity plane. If you have that first rod piece, it kind of can point the direction of where the second piece is. But if you're just looking at a portal, how do you know if it's not in the next room? How do you know if it's not a mile beyond that door? This is in a different... Well, it's between planes of existence in a way. How does the portal know where it's pointing? I think you're going to have to fandangle it with the wizard saying, oh yeah, I sense with my magic stuff that it's in the astral plane, and if I cleverly push these buttons on the portal, you will be beamed close by. Good luck. So then you come through a little door, and you're suddenly in space and then getting pulled towards the nearest body of gravity, which is a dead god. Dead god, tick, cool, brilliant. Dead god, mwah. Dead god, chef's kiss. But this is where we could deviate. Why don't we land on a ship and we're in a ship fight? You've missed that opportunity. We've got two craft that have crashed on this dead god. Why doesn't the same thing happen to the one you're on? You get on it, have a bit of a space fight, and then next thing you know, you're plummeting towards this planet. You need to pull back, make a safe landing, blast away some rocks to make a flat surface. You land safely near another wreckage. That's cooler, isn't it? But it's similar as in the book. You people start to fall towards the dead god. Two star anglers attack. Star anglers are astral predators that resemble hulking golden anglerfish with iridescent fins and tails. They lack eyes, and its hide is dotted with bioluminescent specks, allowing it to easily blend into the vast expanse of the astral plane. Large monstrosities, AC 15, 119 average, and they fly/swim, I suppose, through the astral sea to 40 feet speed. Don't speak. If the Star Angler is subjected to an effect that allows it to make a saving throw to take only half damage, it instead takes no damage if it succeeds, and only half damage if it fails. Illumination sheds some light. It makes 3 bite attacks plus 8 each time, 16 average piercing. As a bonus action, it will lure you with flares of enchanting starlight, DC 13 wisdom save, or you're charmed and incapacitated, and you must move directly up to the thing so that it can bite you. And there are 2 of those bad boys. That's quite nice. But it would be more exciting to be on a ship firing with laser beams, plummeting towards this dead god, and somehow taking no damage as you land on it. You see that there are 3 ship segments along its body. The front is stuck in the heart, decaying heart. The back end is in the hip bone area, and the middle piece is 300 feet between both front and back. The rod piece is being used to enhance the spelljamming helm. Basically, if you're a spelljammer, you're a magic user who attunes to this controlling chair, if you like. You sit in the throne, mind power the ship, or use your magic to go on space adventures. And the rod piece allows you to do that better, let's just say that. Now here is the map of the space galleon in the Spelljammer book. And there's a real issue I have with the actual map that we get. It says that the areas are keyed, Z1 to Z14, 17, but as far as I can see, the DM one and the player one, neither are. So it took me a while to figure out this. And I've done my best to plonk the NPCs where it makes sense. And you can build off of that as you see fit. Now the blue squiggles are like teleportation areas where apparently they don't work very well, but you roll on a table. Now there's one that's something like Z17, Z14, and it's not on the roll table. So how would you teleport there? I don't know. It's just a bit shoddy. Unless I've missed something, please correct me. Now between the three sections are these monsters, and I've put them on this map here. Just if they go on foot rather than teleporting, then these are some encounters. Okay, fine. Fleshes it out a bit. Good. So the space galleon, the Lambent Zenith. Okay, it's called Zambent, actually. But it says that it's ripped into three pieces because of the gravity, and the rod piece falls across this dead giant. Meanwhile, another ship is being attacked by pirates, and then it blows up or something, and they crash land also, and these fly off. And the crew is kind of split among the wreckage. Is it worth just saying that this made this, hit this, and they all went like that? And it flew off. Either way, we end up with three ship pieces. This is the stern. They approach, and there's two Gith. These are the blue teleportation things. If a fight ensues, or they meet them later, loads of mob back up. Inside, Ilrun, who we know is actually a Death Slard. Kaisera, teleportation inside. Davaras, Figaro in his cube of force. You have to convince him to trust you. Sirit's in a prison. I've put the two Night Scavers on the way between those ship pieces. I've put them, this is kind of floating, 1-star angler, just if you want to throw it in somewhere. So you could have like land, that, then that, over to there, Redbud the tree, who says, oh, I'm protecting you from all this nest of bad guys. There is a nest of bad guys, but really, rather than keeping these in, it's keeping everybody out of Ikasa's quarters, the Blink Dog friend. And then Cloaker, and this is stuck in the heart. Captain Inda, the teleportation area. So, Githyanki Knights, two of them, Lyson and Zastra. They are friendly. Captain Ilrun, or not, looks like a Gith who is taking it upon himself to be the new leader, in a way, until things get sorted out. He's actually a Death Slard. He casts Modify Memory on himself and Figaro to basically memory wipe and not give away the actual reason that he's there, which is to lure chaos and feed off that chaos. Underneath his boisterous characteristic is actually a cold attitude. No empathy. These sailors on top are veterans. Kaiser, Duskstride, the Orc Cook, use the assassin stats. Davaras the elf, gruff but friendly. From the VB, the Verdant Branch lifeboat. Figaro, he's got a glassy gaze, and you use the mage stats. He's inside his cube of force with his memory wiped. Sirit, use the priest stats. They're in the prison cell. Redbud is the treant protecting Ikasa, also from the lifeboat. 6 Grell in a nest. Ikasa, the blink dog, saw Polina float off. Never gets mentioned again. Also from the shipwreck. So they all kind of know each other, but they've been split up a little bit. Captain Inda is a diva with 1 wing and 1 prosthetic wing, what needs fixing. And then there's a Hurtilod that swallowed the rod piece at the end. Okay, taking these again, turn them over. This is what Davaras information they will give. We were chased by pirates. Sirit is my card-playing friend and they're missing. I think that only I survived. Figaro's paranoia started shortly after Ilrun arrived. Redbud. I'm keeping hungry parasites contained. Okay, I admit, my friend is downstairs. Ikasa will bound over in a very dog-like manner. I saw Dafaras's friend Polina float off. Only myself and Rosebud are here, probably. They doesn't know for sure. So the first Githyanki you meet, get them to talk and they'll say, a few months ago we crashed. The magic thingy in the prow malfunctioned. Teleportation is warped. They will send the PCs to see Kaisera because they suspect Ilrin and Figaro are dodgy, which they are. Mind controlled. Captain Ilrin. So, I also crashed, he says. All is well. Oh, well, actually, I'm feeling a bit ill. 5 sailors. Probably nothing. Kaisera clams up about the rod piece unless you can befriend them, basically. Okay, I helped design the security system. The rod is in the safe house. And I'm parentally concerned over Figaro. Figaro, inside the Cube of Force. There are 2 runes that ward the rod. They are invisible, I will say that. One is on the stateroom's bed headboard. Dispel magic would probably work to power them down. Oh, I admit, I knew this area of wild space was dangerous and I didn't say anything. Sirit the priest. I saw the Death's Lad. I know its true appearance. I told Figaro about Ilrin, and I also confronted Ilrin myself, and the Death's Lad locked me in here. Well, nothing. Captain. The captain. Raiders want to steal the rod piece. They've been trying unsuccessfully. The passphrase is, the moon sings a song for the lost. Please fix my wing. There's some treasure. And the wards are in the study above the desk and in the headboard of the stateroom. Z1 and ZB, 2 Githyanki knights. Will look over, be very cautious of you, cautious of the players, but friendly. Lyson and Zastra will hopefully avoid a fight, but they may call out to Ilrin. They'll say that they haven't heard from the Captain Inda in a while, and wonder if maybe she didn't survive. Ilrin is obviously looks like a Gith, but isn't. These are examples of Gith pirates. And then there's 5 more crew with veteran stats nearby. Githyanki Knight, AC 18, 91 health, Misty Step, Telekinesis, Silvered Weapon, 2 Silver Greatsword attacks, +9, 13 average, +10 psychic. Pretty cool. Veterans are AC 17 with 58 health. They make 2 longsword attacks, which are +5, 7 average slashing. So the smell of spices and the sound of sizzling comes out of the pantry and the galley. Comes out of the galley. There's an orc assassin called Kaisera. She's a cook and cooks just to keep spirits up. People like the smell of cooking, the sound of it, but hunger's not really a thing in the Astral Sea. If the players ask about the rod part, Kaisera will become somewhat guarded and say the piece is secured by a security system. If you get on the good side, then they'll say there's 2 runes of magical power powering the wards, which are the security things. There's a passphrase that can turn it off, or some certain magic spells could turn it off. She's quite protective of Figaro, concerned like a parent. There's treasure to be had, but it's just wine. The mess hall. There's an elf called Davaras among tables and chairs, playing cards, potentially solitaire, which you can play on your own, if the captain isn't to be found here, which I don't think she should be. Davaras normally plays against Sirit, but Sirit wandered off to look for other ship parts and hasn't been seen since. Davaras and Redbud and Ikasa were all on that little ship that got attacked and they escaped on a lifeboat here. So the companion way is where you can sort of see some of the Cube of Force, which is a cube, like a Rubik's Cube, that you press different sides, it does different things. So they've pressed number 3, living matter can't pass through this barrier. It suggests on this stat block that they'd have to do it every minute, but whatever. There's a reason you can't get to Figaro without gaining his trust. Bunks and hammocks in Z6 with makeshift grave markings. 7 is storage. There's rope and sails and spare bits and bats. But there's a loose floorboard under a canvas to a passageway. Z8 is an elegant room bathed in warm light. There's a purple tiefling, Figaro, who's a mage. Does he trust you or does he attack you? That's what you need to think about. Figaro has a glassy stare to suggest memory modification, and Ilrin did it, but not the real Ilrin. Figaro knew about the dangers of this stretch of the Astral Sea, but didn't warn the captain 1 ward is on the bed's headboard. In Z9, the brig, small cells, and then there's a shout from a coatl called Sirit. Use the priest stats. Sirit saw Ilrun's true form, but the Death Slard overpowered her. Ilrun wants Sirit to create Green Slard. Sirit is actually a coatl who can change shape to be humanoid. Why? I don't know. So you would use the priest stats if needed. AC 13, 27 health average. As a bonus action, the priest can expend a spell slot to cause its melee weapons to deal 10 extra radiant damage. Spirit Guardians, Spiritual Weapon, Cure Wounds, Sacred Flame, and a Mace +2 with 3 bludgeoning damage. Nice little spellcaster. Z10 is the top deck with the wrecked lifeboat on. The tree ant Redbud nearly died. Redbud now protects the blink dog Icasa, who is trapped in the lifeboat, being secured by the tree. Z11, Grells. Z12, the lifeboat wreck. A magical collar allows the blink dog to speak. So Icasa bounds over all happy and could get to saying that Pelena floated off. That's one of those secret things that the players get the rolls from. Z13, there's books and scrolls. Dissertations on the abstruse mind. A disguised strongbox is trapped. There's a potion of mind reading and a journal. The passphrase, the moon sings a song for the lost, and the ward is on the wall above the desk. Those are the keynotes. Z14, a colossal heart, part flesh and stone. The door is blocked by a mast. 15 is the captain's quarters. It's messy. There's a one-winged diva called Inda. She's wary of thieves and would like her wing fixing. She has a lantern of revealing, and other treasure include a flame-tongue sword, a ring of evasion, and a spell scroll of flame strike. Diva stats: AC 17, hit points 136, can cast Raise Dead. 2 attacks, +8 with its mace, 7 bludgeoning +18 radiant. Has a healing touch and can shape change. In the navigation room, there's the prosthetic wing, which hopefully somebody can fix. In 18, empty crates and barrels. 19, there's a safe room, there's a foul stench, and a hole to the heart, which is slowly beating. Alright, not too much to the heart then. So going through to the atrium, it reeks of death and rot, because this dead god isn't actually dead. There is a spyglass worth 1,000 gold pieces in detritus from the wreckage. In the ventricle chamber, the Hurtalod is sleeping, a serpentine monstrosity that swallowed the rod piece. There's a caved-in artery chamber, and you can actually dig through if you were to be bothered. The Hurtalod, AC 14, average of 241. Average. I do full health, so that will be fun. So 3 legendary resistances. You do roll, then if you fail you can say, okay, I expend one of those. You don't have to say before the roll. It has advantage on saves against magic. If it takes lightning damage, it don't like that. It must succeed on a DC 15 con save, or throw up all swallowed creatures. It can climb upside down and do funny stuff like that. 1 bite, +12, 15 piercing damage, +13 poison if someone's susceptible to poison. It can swallow the players. At the start of each of its turns, each swallowed creature takes another 13 poison damage, unless it doesn't take poison damage. It can hold up to 2 creatures in its stomach, and if the Hurtaloid takes 40 damage or more, it'll throw them up. The claw attack is +12 for 17 slashing. Legendary actions which go in between your players' turns. 3 points to spend. 1 point makes it move more without getting hit, and the other 2, it drains life from the creatures in its stomach to bolster itself. It both hurts 10 necrotic damage and heals itself 10 necrotic damage. Spicy. And now let's look at what is in the Spelljammer module as extra stuff. So this is what the Spelljammer set has in. It's a lovely DM screen. 3 books and a great map? Well, that's the issue. You get a map of the Rock of Braal, all the top side, and underneath an asteroid come spaceport. In the adventure The Light of Xerxes, you actually visit the Rock of Braal. Well, you visit one building. Yeah, that's it. One building. Doesn't even have a map for that. To us, my gang, I was a player at this time, my poor friend took this to be the adventure that he DM'd, and we were all just laughing at how chopped up it was. Like, boiled down to crumbs. And it was such a shame. Edited within an inch of its life to make it as small as possible. A director's cut of that would be welcome. Anyhows, in the Astral Adventurer's Guide, after the racism, we get the Astral Sea map, the spelljamming helms that I was talking about, cool chair controllers, a table for crash damage and repairing the ship, which is rather strange. It gains 1 hit point a day. 1 hit point! And then has a load of schematics for ships. The Bombard, the Damselfly-shaped ship, the Flying Fish ship, the Hammerhead, the Lamprey, the Living ship, the Nautiloid from Baldur's Gate 3, the Night Spider, Scorpion ship, Shrike ship, Space Galleon, which I think is the ship we have in this module, Squid ship, Star Moth, Turtle ship, the Beholder made ship, Wasp ship. And then, as I say, the Rock of Braal looks really interesting. Has a few pages on what's there, but really leaves it up to you. The Boo's Astral Menagerie is a lovely book of monsters. These look quite alien and cool. Braxat, Cosmic Horror, the Eyemonger, the Fear. These Kindori space whales look awesome. Yeah, if you can just get some sort of throw-in of these to use, it's great. But, you know, these ancient lunar dragons, yeah, maybe a bit much for this party. But my point is, they can at least, you have the option to make them appear and just fly by, you know. Any small interaction would be so cool. Megapedes, whatever the hell that is. It's all very monstery, and it's a shame to go, though, Scavers. It's a shame to go into the Astral Sea and not have something like this fight the players. Okay, maybe not that. But the Ancient Solar Dragon, cool. AC 18, loads of hit points. Double damage to objects and structures. 1 bite, 1 tail, photonic breath. Just fun, isn't it? Fun. Spelljammer, baby. It's great. Except it also kind of is badly done. Even just vampire pirates, undead swashbucklers, they explode. You know, they took all the time to come up with these things and kind of just threw them away in the adventure. Both the Light of Xerxes and the Vecna one. I implore the community to make Spelljammer cool again.